Greetings to you all and welcome back to Let's Play Command & Conquer here on Nod Mission 3. First order of business is finding out what we have to do. Let's not read that, let's watch the video.
Kane is going to be pleased to hear how skillfully you've handled yourself. And a word from me to Kane goes a long way in the Brotherhood. These walls imprison many friends and members of the Brotherhood. Free them regardless of cost. Overwhelm the prison, but leave it standing.
Okay, it's a very simple mission objective. It's the kind of thing we'll have to do, I think, a few times throughout the game. Not too often, but a couple of times at least. We have to essentially take the base, destroy and kill everything, but not the prison. Then we have to send an engineer over, get him inside the prison, and capture the damn thing. Essentially, it plays the same as any other level. We just have to defeat all of our enemies. We can't go on a complete spree of destruction like we'd like to. But then we are supposed to be respectable commanders who can follow orders. So we'll give that a go. Anyway, once again we had an MCV. Once again we deployed it precisely where we started. Not always the best choice, but it'll do just fine on this level because the Tiberium's just here. Don't know what these guys are planning, walking straight past all of our units. That's the kind of plan that I'll take happily. So we have a new type of unit here. The Nod attack bike. Maybe called a recon bike, I'm not sure. Their names change game on game. I think it's an attack bike. And as you can see, they fire rockets. It's apparently a motorcycle with rocket launchers fitted on the side. It's a young man's dream, but in this game it's quite useless. I really dislike this unit. Their advantages really lie in their mobility, and they are sneakily going to attack us from all angles this time. Computer's getting wiser. So yes, these guys are favoured for their mobility, which is understandably very nice. I'm not going to say it's not. But being rocket weaponry, they're effective against tanks and kind of effective against buildings, so you're thinking that's a nice trade-off. But they have exceptionally light armour. And that means that any tank or any other unit they're effective against is going to be effective back towards them. Give you a nice example of him just fighting a Humvee here. You can see, yes, that he wins, but the fight's, you know, fairly even. They're just not very effective at what you want them to do. They just don't seem to be able to do it. I'd sooner have a massive Nod buggies, in all honesty. But we've been given them for free, so we'll use them. Of course we will. You'll see that it will never be able to kill that one poor civilian. I'm not sure on the mechanics of this. Presumably in real life, if a rocket goes off somewhere in your vicinity, it will kill you. But apparently not in this game. If a rocket goes off in your vicinity, you're in pretty good shape. Now if you're in a vehicle, you're screwed. Once again, the map's fairly small. That's a good thing. Those are oil derricks. And if you're thinking capture them, get more income, then you're an idiot, because you can't do anything with them except blow them up. And we are going to need at least one engineer in this level, because we need to capture the prison. He'll probably die, we'll probably need more, but we'll just get the one for now. So there he is, 500 for an engineer. Sounds expensive, it is, but it's worth it, trust me, especially when you need him to complete the level. But even on ordinary levels, he's definitely worth it. You can sneak him in properly, you can even take out a command centre in one. Very nice, very handy. So now we can build bazooka troops. There they are, 300 each. I've discussed my feelings on bazooka troops previously, I do believe. They are useful, but they're more useful later on, because at this point the enemy doesn't really have any tanks. The enemy has Humvees and infantry, which makes the bazooka troops rather useless. Let's check if we can build any more buildings. Just Tiberium silo. We've already explained why that's so useless. Down you go, you technician. We'll notice that technicians look exactly like civilians, and when you're not, it doesn't really make any difference. To the point I'm not even sure if that really was a technician, but who cares, he's dead now. So the bottom looks relatively clear, and I'm not sending that thing in, otherwise it's going to die miserably. We'll go back to trying to destroy these things that serve no purpose. I'll just double check what I said previously about capturing. I'm correct. Very good. Pat on the back.
Building.
Need you to wait out the way as I keep right-clicking instead of left-clicking because I've been playing more modern strategy games. Shame on me.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Moving up. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
No, these are civilians.
Unit reporting.
And we'll see just how long it takes a bike with a mounted rocket launcher to kill one civilian flailing about in complete panic. Ooh, good shot.
Ready.
Yes, sir.
The game's going back to its archaic ways of every time I say something's useless, it proves me wrong by one-shotting whatever it's attacking. Which is good, because I always run down my own units. I hear attacking, there we go. Retreat backwards. Guessing that the prison's up here. It's the most logical place for it.
Unit affirmative.
We'll see how this one grenadier will defeat this bike, even with my futile attempts with micro.
Yes, sir.
Especially now it's got backup.
Unit reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Downside to grenadiers there, obviously, is that you can easily dodge their projectiles. The computer generally doesn't bother. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Building.
But because of that, grenadiers are very good against the computer. Are they that good against other human opponents? Well, yes, they still have their uses, specifically against buildings.
Building.
Reporting. Moving out.
But against the computer, grenadiers will kill just about anything.
Ready and waiting.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Moving out. Yes, sir.
Yes, we just take a quick moment out there to appreciate the soundtrack.
Ready and waiting.
You'll notice that Tiberium disappears as you attack it.
Moving out.
That's quite a nice feature, I do believe. You can kind of use it as an advantage, but
Building.
realistically it's more trouble than it's worth.
Yes, sir. Got it.
But if you're fighting in the enemy's Tiberium, say that you're going for their harvester, then you might
Lost.
take down a good chunk of Tiberium as you're trying to destroy the harvester,
Lost.
Reporting.
especially if you've got inaccurate weapons like rocket launchers.
Moving out.
So it's just kind of a passive benefit that you get tossed in as well.
Yes, moving out.
Building.
Well, there's always lots of vehicles floating about the place given to us at the start of the levels, but we can never build our own vehicles. That's going to change shortly.
Acknowledged.
I say shortly, I don't actually know which level it's going to change, but it will change eventually. There we go.
Waiting orders.
We send these 5 chaps around the back here so they can just go on their jollies. Don't know how we're going to take
Unit
the
ready.
front entrance of this base with mass minigunners, but it's guarded by Humvees, but presumably they have a limited supply as well, just like we do. In which case mass minigunners will win the day in the end.
Building.
See the enormous supply of Tiberium up here, which I don't think anyone's ever going to use.
Unit ready.
Don't know how that chap managed to survive that one. Maybe because he was crawling on his belly, he becomes somehow immune to pain.
Moving out. Affirmative.
If so, that's rather a remarkable discovery. Let's abuse it.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out.
2 bikes versus a Humvee. We should win. Are we going to win? No, we're not. Somehow I've deselected my bikes.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
And we don't want to go any further that way or we'll all burn to death. This man disagrees. Order him again.
Building.
That you can't really micro when you're being attacked by bullets. If you're wondering why I'm just sitting here this time. After my fancy bike control previously.
Unit affirmative.
Just the way it is, bullets are
Acknowledged.
sort of instant hit. So there's no dodging with bullets.
You got it. Yeah.
Dodging bullets, that would be absurd.
Yes, sir. Got it. Moving out.
Unit.
Oh, that's a cheap shot.
Affirmative. Yes, moving
So it seems
out.
the enemy's contained quite neatly within this little ridge, which is higher there and lower there. So
Waiting
my
order.
mind's baffled by the geography of this place.
Waiting affirmative. Yes, sir.
The little hamlet will destroy.
It's moving
Remember, we're
out.
not. That means we're terrorists, and we claim that we're not real terrorists. That we're actually quite nice, and we want to unify the world and all this. But we'll still kill every civilian we come across. So in that respect, we really are quite traditional terrorists.
Reporting. Not a problem.
Building.
Anyway, how's the mass minigunners holding out? Pretty good.
Roger. Unit reporting. Affirmative.
Back to destroying the civilians. That's what we're really here for.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
Good job. Got more civilians to kill. So what's the advantage of killing civilians? Well, not much. Sometimes there are crates hidden under the houses, I'm sure I've said that before. It's worth points at the end of the level, yes, but I've also said that I don't care about points before, so why am I doing it? Don't know, but it's fun to watch.
Unit ready. Building.
Particularly at the end of the level where we get to see that enormous red bar come along and slaughter up to 5 civilians because of our efforts during the level. Not sure if I really need to be keeping a defensive force back consisting of an awful lot of vehicles and units, but who cares.
Unit ready. Building.
Let's at least get a better idea of where we are and what we're doing before we commit a massive force forwards.
Lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
That does give a good example of just how much AoE damage they managed to pull off. Now, if that Humvee never moves, then we'll be able to take that down pretty easily.
Unit lost.
The AI back to lacking miserably, but that's good. There's a harvester, don't shoot it. For the love of God, don't shoot it, run away, stop stuttering.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
That was a rather odd noise, there it is. That's the sound of a guard tower,
Unit lost.
which we didn't hear that time for some reason.
Reporting. Moving out.
They are anti-infantry based defences. You remember Nod, they had those red turrets? You
Building.
notice that we can't build the red turrets? Damn the game and its imbalances. But just GDI, they get these little guard towers which are effective against infantry. What does that mean? It means that the starting levels for GDI are much easier than the starting levels for Nod. Because we are limited to only buying infantry, and they have anti-infantry defence. When we were playing GDI, we were limited to building infantry, and they had anti-tank defence. You can see where we're going with that.
Unit lost.
Once again, the attack bike fails to take down a single Humvee. And this civilian fancies his chances. Quite wrongly. So maybe it is a good thing I still have some vehicles left over, but remember the attack bikes are light vehicles, that means they still take significant damage when they're attacked by the guard tower.
Building.
Should maybe I get some bazookas, because they'd be good at taking it down? Yes they would, but they'd also die in one shot, so it'd be a waste of time, so just flood it with infantry. Right, let's do that. And we can break their morale by destroying more innocent civilian hamlets.
Moving out. Moving out. Waiting note. Affirmative. Ready.
One grenadier, he's a brave, brave man. Let's see how this works for him. The game puts an ironic moment of suspense deep in there.
Yes.
Yes, the CD still stutters profusely, I can't help it.
Got it. Reporting.
I'm not building anything or doing anything. What am I doing?
Ready. Roger. Affirmative.
Let's charge an attack force down here, go back to destroying those guys, and just hopefully amass an enormous army. I will send the bazooka men in, I will send all of the vehicles in one huge push.
Unit
It's not that that thing's
building.
incredibly powerful, it's just if I send everyone in together, we'll likely lose less units than if I send them in small groups.
Unit ready.
As I said
Building.
previously, I don't think we're actually going to be attacked again on this level, so we should be fine. Any attack force, I'm sure we can handle just by building a few more infantry.
Waiting order. Affirmative. You got it. You got it.
Unit ready.
Okay, I believe this attack force is sizable enough. We should be able to penetrate that place fairly simply and take great care in not destroying the prison and get our men out of there. Apparently, these men are so significant to us that we're willing to accept any losses. I said that in the opening video. I'm not sure who these people are,
Reporting. Roger.
how important they are. Hopefully the game will tell us in the next scenarios and whatnot.
Got it.
Unit ready.
Curious thing about civilians, and another reason why I'm in the habit of destroying them, is that in levels where you're told you have to destroy all GDI presence within the map, that includes the civilians.
Building.
Quite wrongly, but there it is. The game likes to encourage you to massacre innocent civilians, and we're grateful for that.
Unit ready.
This should be quite an even fight brewing up here. Let's look at our odds as long as we don't take too much damage from this grenadier man. Yes, that will do fine.
Not a problem.
That was a battle of micro, the most simple sort imaginable. What did the computer lacks?
Reporting.
And that's a nice fight for us, and that's where we're going to be ending a video. Hopefully you'll join me for the next one. We'll finish off this level, no doubt. Clearly we're not going to, because I've said that. Join me then, let's find out.